and gentlemen. Thank you very much for everyone to join us in this beautiful afternoon. I'm sure you could spend this afternoon anywhere else, and thank you all so much for coming here and listen to what Ronny is going to explain to us. He has a beautiful story. I'm sure most of you all know about him and what he's done and everything, but I'm sure he's going to be in more detail tonight, and in a very strong and forceful kind of presentation that really truly shows you how he came about this idea and how did he perceive it with the basic idea that he worked with, and then how he expanded and how he was able to stay behind it and promote it. And actually he has so many different ideas for the future, which we know is going to be wonderful. A brief bio about Ronny, just for the ones who maybe do not know some of the small detail. I read a little script here, and then rest of it, let him explain a little more about himself and how did he come with this project and how did he start it and where he's at and everything else. Ronny Edry is a graphic designer, an illustrator, and a teacher. He grew up in Paris, France, and has been living in Israel since 1989. Ronny graduated with honors from Bethel Academy of Art and Design, and since has been a permanent staff member teaching visual communication both in Shankar College of Engineering and Design and formerly at Bethel Academy of Art and Design. Ronny is a working designer and an acclaimed author of graphic novels. He is the owner and founder of Pushpin, the preparation school for the Art and Design Academies. He has received awards for his work as a graphic designer and has taken part in numerous art exhibits. Ronny has always been involved with social topics and political media and has been a constant voice with his social awareness poster of many topics. Ronny is the founder of the Peace Factory and the Israel Loves Iran project. On an evening in March 2012, Ronny posted a picture on Facebook. I have to stop here because then he can make it more exciting as what happened after that. I'm honored to welcome him, and please take over. Thank you.
Okay, well, that works. I'm assuming a lot of you are from the Iranian community. Yeah, I mean, you want to, yeah, most of you, okay, that's good. So I'm going to skip all the, because this morning I opened with some funny stuff about Texas, but you guys from Iran, so you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to skip that part, and I'm going to try to go to the subject. And because it's just a close, it's just the five of us. If you have any question at any time, just get into it. Let's make it a discussion if you want, not me talking, because I'm so jet lagged now. I'm almost sleeping. It's like 5 in the morning in Israel, and I'm like, oh my God. So I'm going to try to explain you what happened with that image and how it became, I'm skipping that part, and I'm going straight to the image and to the process of how it started and how it became a community. So for those of you who wasn't here in the morning, I'm living in Israel, and we have this war coming with Iran. You guys Iranian know what I'm talking about. It's the one they're talking on TV like for 10 years now. scary. You know, you have it with Iraq for more than 8 years?
8 years.
8 years, more than 1 million people died. So now it's Israel, USA, I don't know, it's coming. And that's the same in Israel. We have that fear of a war coming for more than a decade, and it's about Iran. It's about their building nuclear bombs, I don't know. And that's what we have in our mind. So I was a soldier in the army, in the Israeli army for 3 years. I was a paratrooper actually. And I'm not that naive. I mean, I understand how it looks. And I understand sometimes you have to go to war. And I understand you have to protect your country, blah, blah, blah. But at some point, I mean, after that, you have to be ready for something else. I mean, to resolve our problem with something else. So, as a graphic designer, I wanted to use that tool that I have and that I'm teaching to my students to do something. I know that you've said that I'm working as a graphic designer, but most of the time I'm just teaching because I hate the clients and I hate working with them. So I'm ending up most of the time teaching, and so I'm not too ashamed of my student just teaching. I'm trying to do some stuff. And Facebook, it's a great platform because you can do some posters and post them, and if it works, I mean, people will like it, will share it, and on and on. So I'm making a lot of posters. I'm making a lot of stuff all the time. It didn't start with Iran. It started the day I understand that Facebook, it's nice to say some stuff. And in Israel, we have a lot of issues. So I'm making a lot of posters, and this one was, again, just one of them. It just started like one of those projects that I do just before the Shabbat to go with the family, and I asked my wife, please come with me to the roof, take a picture of me holding our daughter Ella, and let me, and she was like, oh my God, not again. One of your stupid ideas of posters, I can't. So I have to take her there. Really, it's a long story, but at the end, I succeed to have that image, and I post that poster on March 13 on Facebook. And I didn't ask myself too much question just before posting it. I just did it, and that's my way of processing, you know. Sometimes I'm thinking about it before doing it, but I'm not sitting actually on the computer for hours and working. It takes me 10 minutes. It's not that great graphic design. It's just, you know, it's basic Helvetica and hearts. So I made the poster, I posted, and I went to sleep, and really something amazing to me happened. People respond to it. And not just my friend telling me it was stupid, because those were the first response, by the way. But not really. But people from Iran, I mean, within hours, not even 24 hours, people from Iran see that image. And it was blow-minding to me that to realize that from my from my apartment in Tel Aviv, I reach people in Iran in less than 24 hours. I succeed to do what, you can just dream of living in Israel. I succeed to say something to the Iranian. We have no way, and you must know it, we have no way in Israel to talk with Iran. There is one radio channel that broadcasts from Tel Aviv to the Persian community, and I know that it's also, you can hear it in Iran, but that's it. I mean, you can call, you can dial a phone and through Iran, you can send something to Iran, you have to send it to Germany, and then, so you have no way to talk to them. And in my mind at that point, I was also under the consideration that they don't have internet, they don't have Facebook, they don't have nothing. They have, you know, camels, and they live in tents in the middle of the desert. And Ahmadinejad is helping them, building a bomb to come and kill me. That's, I mean, really, that's what I have in mind at that moment. And I just wanted to tell them, okay, guys, maybe we come to some kind of a solution just before that happened. So that night, I realized not only that they have internet, but they have Facebook, and they know to read and write in English, and they're answering me. And we were talking. So I remember that night like it was yesterday. I was like, oh my God. My wife, she was sleeping, so I took her out of bed, and I said, you have to come. And she said, no, please, again with your stupid projects. Let me sleep, we talk about it tomorrow. And I say, no, you have to come. I'm talking with that woman from Tehran, she's on Facebook, and she said, it's fake. She's not, it's a man, and it's from Manhattan. It's not a woman from Tehran, you're just dreaming. Go back to bed. And so I took her, and that woman, so she was reading to us, and she said, I was talking to her for minutes, and at some point, I told her, wait a moment, I'm going to take my wife, I want her to know you. So she bring her parents. At that moment, she go in her room, she go in the house, and she bring her parents to the Facebook screen. So she said, hey, I'm sitting now with my family, and all of us, and we see your poster, and we're crying. And my wife, she see that, and she start crying. And it was like surreal, because we were in Tel Aviv and in Tehran, all of us, the 5 of us, crying in the middle of the night without, I mean, it was crazy. And it was just the first few hours. So the day after, my wife said, okay, now I want to be part of it. And that's how it really started, with that second image. Because the first image was just, okay, that's a nice poster. But now it's a series. It's you can do, it's not just one, it's a lot of them. So people start saying, okay, at first I asked my friend, this one is Sani, is one of my best friends, and he's really cynical. And it was funny that he was one of the first to take part of it, because he was the first person who called me, and he's never calling me. He's always tweeting and texting, and he never used his phone as an actual phone. So when I post the first image, he called me, and he said, take it down, it's too stupid, you look, I mean, what are you doing? Really? Hearts? Pink? It's low, even for you. And I said, let's try something. So a few days after, you can see the shame in his eyes. It's like, oh my God, I don't believe I'm part of this crazy stuff. And I asked more friends to come home. We take pictures of all the neighborhood and the friends. And at some point, some people start to understand that it's okay to send their picture. They just send their picture on Gmail, Facebook. They send us to my account. And I start to make some posters. And I just post them. And at some point, we received so much images for so many Israelis. It was like a day job for few weeks. It just started, this is the 5th day, or I don't know, something like that. But it was like all the time. Suddenly I was working. I was again working as a graphic designer, but it was nice for once. So. Really, I just choose a few of them to show you, to demonstrate. And on the other side, we were receiving messages. I mean, the Israeli at that point were sending images, and the Iranian were responding by messaging or commenting on the posters. So we took a few of those texts, and we make poster out of them, because we wanted people to see it and not just to read it, So one of my best, one of the one I like the most, and it's not the more moving, but to me it's the more it's meaning something, is the one, it's this one. It's Ronny, I have an Iranian friend. It's a student of mine, and he just, it texts me that. And it was like, because suddenly, on Facebook you have your friends, and most of them, they're really your friend. They're your friend from school, they're your friend from family friends, it's like your relative, but you know of them. They're not from Iran, they're not from that far. And now, and especially in Israel, it's so closed. So you have most of your friends on Facebook, they're going to be Israeli, they're going to be Jewish. Maybe you have family in the States, so this guy's going to be, but you don't have Palestinian friends, you don't have Iranian friends, you don't have friends from Iran. And so suddenly he had a friend from Iran, so he was really proud about that, so he texted me, have a friend from Iran on Facebook. Now we have mutual friends from Iran on Facebook. This is great. I have thousands of friends from it. This one is, I'm just going to let you read it, if you didn't read it this morning. This one is maybe the most moving story. So we post those images as posters, and people start to, comment under the images. You can find them. You can go to the page Israel Loves Iran and go back to the beginning of it, and you will find those images. Some of them were just posted on my private account just before we opened the page Israel Loves Iran, because at some point we have so many friend requests that we have to open the page. And again, at the beginning, I didn't understand it. So a friend of mine, which is like big understanding in Facebook, because I don't understand nothing at that point, he told me you have to open a page. And I said, what's a page? And he said, a page is when you have more than 5,000 friends. And I said, yeah, but it's not going to happen. This is nice, but not 5,000 friends nice. And he said, dude, you don't understand nothing. You have to open a page now because it's going to happen. So he opened it for me. He said, I'm going to open it and say, what's the name of the page? How you want to call it? So I say, I don't know, let's call it Israel Loves Iran. And it was crazy those days. So if you want to look at those images, you can just find them on the Facebook page. This is Shahrazad. She's the first Iranian who actually starts the counterpart of that story. And she sent her face and say, hey, I also want to be part of that poster story, but not from the Israeli side, from the Iranian side. She's living in Germany, so it was easiest for her to show her face, but it opened the door to others, and then they start to send some images from Iran, and that's where we received the first images of actual Iranian through Facebook, and that's how we realized that they also have graphic designers in Iran. Who would ever believe that? But that's what I'm joking about it all the time, but that was my first, what? That was my first, that first thing that comes in mind when it happened. They have graphic designers? Who would believe it? I was so clueless. So this is Sani working at, making friends with Iranians in Tel Aviv. Those days were really funny and crazy and happy because we were meeting from morning to evening in my house, plugged the computer, and we were talking to hundreds, thousands of people at the same time. We were answering mails, emails, messages. This guy, Dan, you can't see his face on this image, but I have other images of him. Is more than cynical. Is like, So he's really from the right side of the political map in Israel. And I mean, even the left don't really believe in peace. So the right, they're like, and he called me and he said, Ronny, you know, it's nice, your story with the Iranian, it's pretty almost, but it's so stupid because it's counterproductive. You're shooting your own self. I mean, the war is coming, Iranians are building a bomb, and you're like, you know, throwing you're like with the white flag. You're just a coward. I don't believe you're getting so low. And so I said, you know what? I mean, I respect your opinion. I understand it, but this is not the issue. What we are doing now is we're just talking as people. We're not representing any government. I mean, I'm not the government of Israel, and I'm not talking with Ahmadinejad. I'm Ronny talking with some Iranian, and for 5 minutes, it's nice. I mean, let me have it for 5 minutes. I mean, why not? So, but you know what? Come home, and plug yourself to the computer and try it, and talk to me after that. And he was, no, I'm not coming. At the end, he came with his boyfriend, and the two of them plugged to the Facebook, and they stay for days. They become addicted to the love, really. It was like crying, really, really. It became a huge part of what we were doing at that time. He made hundreds of posters. He's a great graphic designer. He was a student of mine. And because reading those stories totally changed his mind. And it wasn't about politics. It wasn't about, you know, who's right and who started and if the bomb is coming. It was about just talking with some people and realizing that they're just like you. So it was like refreshing for a while, you know, even for him. I mean, especially for him. And then the news come. They really actually come. I mean, we were so busy, so they called and they said, "Can you come to the studio to have some interview?" And we said, "We can go anywhere. We're stuck to the computer, but you can come anytime we're in the house. I mean, just knock on the door." And they really come. And there was a line of CNN, ABC, any kind of media that you can just think, they just came. This is just one image of the one I just Googled before I made my presentation. So it was crazy to see that for them, suddenly, it's news, and it's good news. So it becomes something that you want to report. And we were talking on not only on the American media and the European media, which is nice, but we were also talking on the Arab media. We were talking on Al Jazeera, we were talking on Al Hura, we were talking on the Israeli Arab channels, which was very important to us, way more important than talking on CNN. It was nice, it gave us a lot of views, but the real issue were to have the message goes, you know, west. So that was nice, I mean east. That was really nice. We had the TED Talk, which became really big. At some point, we have more than 1 million views on the TED.com page. It's less than 4 or 5 months, I think, online, and it's more than 1 million. And it's done. We realized that at that point, we were really changing how the internet perceived the Middle East. So Dan again called me and he said, "You know what, just try that, go on google.com and try to type Israel and go to images." And these were the first hits. I mean, these images become the first hits when you were looking up Israel and Iran for a few weeks. And this was like really crazy because we were really changing how people perceive the Middle East at that moment. And so we post that, and people start sending us a lot of pictures of them holding their passports. It was really nice, all those images. We made a few projects. This one is one of my, I really like it. It didn't really work because it was complicated to have people taking pictures of themselves, having a coffee, without sending us strange pictures, because they had to sit, to put a coffee, and to, to have, and most of them were just, shooting themselves with the iPhone, so it was like strange. But we succeeded to make it work, and it started with Majid from Tehran. He's sitting in his apartment, and this is me, and we make that mixed, and we make it look like it was a meeting, a real meeting, but it's actually a virtual one. And we send those images on the page, and to me, it's like it's really happening. I mean, the moment you have that image, it's like it happened. And it doesn't matter if it didn't happen. What matters is that me and Majid wanted to have that coffee, and we just fake it, and we post it, and we said to everybody, what about that nice coffee that we could have had together? And it was obvious that it was fake, but it was like kind of real for us. Crazy story, but real. 3 weeks ago, yeah, something like that, I don't remember. A few weeks ago, I was in Missouri at Principia College, nice, really nice place. And I've been asked to come, it's close to St. Louis, I've been asked to come to talk about the Israel Loves Iran project. And somebody's calling me, it's Steve, I know him from the page, and he's telling me, you know who's in my house now, in Joplin, Missouri? Majid. I was like, what are you talking about? He's living in Tehran. So he said, no, yeah, he's living in Tehran, but he left Tehran because he's working on his PhD. So he went to Malaysia, and from Malaysia, he went to Joplin, Missouri, because he had to do, there is a big hospital there, I don't know. But he's there now, so we're coming, and we're meeting you tomorrow. And it was crazy because, really, you can see we were having a coffee, and then we really have this real meet. This is Tanaz's wife and Michal, my wife. And we also made this project. So this image here is fake. This is his family in Tehran, and this is my family in Tel Aviv, and we made this like dinner together. And the one on the upper side is real. So it was really moving, meeting him in real life. And it was funny because I didn't know what to expect, because, I mean, really, we were meeting on Facebook, and we were supposed to be friends, but now we're meeting in the real life, and maybe we're not going to be friends. Maybe it's going to be awkward, and we're not going to talk or something. I mean, it's not going to work. I don't know him. And it was really nice meeting him. We were really, it clicked. I mean, it was actually really nice. We talk at the Voice of America. These are images of other meetings that I had. This one is in Germany. I meet with Shahrazad from the first Iranian posters. And on the right, down, it's Juju. She opened a page called Palestine Love Israel. A few weeks after we opened the page Israel Loves Iran. Majid is the admin of the page Iran Love Israel. This is Shahrukh, the dancer, Iranian. You must know him. He was all over the place. It's crazy. And this is the Mufti of Munich. And this is in Utah. And this is a nice story about Roya. She came. She's an Iranian, born and raised in Iran, and at some point, her family left Iran and they went to live in Germany. But again, she knows of Israel what I know of Iran. She knows that it's a bad place and that we are killing children and drinking their blood for breakfast with the cornflakes. So that's what she knows. And so we end up talking on Facebook, and she became a friend. And at some point, we just invite her. We say, okay, you have holidays coming. Maybe you just come to Israel. And we had a few days together. So she was like, no, you're going to drink my blood with the cornflakes. What are you talking about? I mean, and we keep on talking and talking. At some point, she made that huge, crazy step for her. She just bought a ticket, and she came to Israel for the first time. And, for some of you may have been there. It's not that a huge story. But for her, it was like, it was like crazy. And she came and she had the best day of her life. It was really, really nice having her in Tel Aviv. This is her in my house. This is Juju from Palestine of Israel. She also came to Tel Aviv. We're inviting everybody to Tel Aviv at some point. And this was just after President Obama, the other one, was in Israel, and he gave a talk about peace, and he said, I try to remember exactly how he quoted, but he said, if you guys want peace, you have to push for it. I mean, it's not going to come from the government, it's going to come from the people, because he was so disappointed at what's happening. So he was sitting, with Bibi Netanyahu and other representatives of the Israeli government, and he just said, go over the head. If you want it, you have to make it happen, and they will come at some point. That was plus minus his speech in Jerusalem. So Juju was there, so we say, okay, let's push for peace, and we make that stupid image, and we post it, and then people keep on sending me pictures of them pushing themselves and pushing for peace. But it's all about images, and it's all about, trying to respect the other side and show that it's possible. So this one is really moving. It's the home page of the page Iran Love Israel. So this is Majid page. This is not my page, and this is on the Israeli Remembrance Day for fallen soldier in Israel. So it's an Iranian page paying his respect to Israeli fallen soldier. Sounds crazy, right? Did happen. And it was nice. It was nice because it's a really important day in Israel. Like you have your days, and you want to be acknowledged of those days, and you want to get that respect. And when you give that to the other side, it's like you're making that first step. It's like you're acknowledging him. And now it's okay to talk and to become friends. And, again, this one was about the Holocaust, and we have that Yom HaShoah, the Day of Remembrance of the Holocaust in Israel. It's also a crazy day, and we have that. On that day, we have a siren going up in all the country for 2 minutes, and people stopping doing anything that they're doing. It's happening only in Israel. It's crazy. It's really powerful. They're stopping doing anything and just standing for 2 minutes. No matter where they are, what they're doing, they're just standing. So it's really, if you never have seen that, it's really wow. Those people, what are they doing? That gets you. So we wanted to share that with the page. So me and my friend Tom, on that day, we went out on the streets and we make a short movie of it. You can find the movie on YouTube. We have a channel, Israel Loves Iran. And it was crazy because most of the people, they know about the Holocaust, they know about, but they don't know how what we do about it in Israel. So they were actually now seeing us, and again, it opens a lot of questions, because Iranian, they maybe know of it, but they don't know exactly, and they were asking questions, and Israeli were responding, and again, they become friends, and they become open. They open themselves one to another, and we try to do it anytime we can. We try to make these connections. This campaign was the second big campaign, and we call it Not Ready to Die in Your War, talking about the war the government are, trying to make us going to. And so again, we just use simple pictures of people showing their faces. But now we had really, for the first time, we had faces of Iranian in Iran, and not just, Shahrazad from Germany, but actually Iranian sending their picture from Iran. And it was really moving. It was really moving to see all those people taking that huge step forward. Not just now, watching the page, but taking part of it. Mostly young people, the internet generation, believing in that connection, so they just send their image and they say, you can use it. At the beginning, I was like, that's maybe too much. Maybe we're not going to use those pictures because maybe we're going to endanger those people because maybe the government is monitoring something. And they say, no, you use those images, no problems. So it was really, she's from Germany, Sanaz, she's really nice. So at some point we have so many pictures and so many nice, great pictures, we decide to print them and to put them on buses. So we make this is lame, but it works. So we make a call for people to, it's crowdfunding. We set up a crowdfunding page for people to give us some money, and we raise a few $1,000s, and we make a bus campaign where we printed all those faces on the streets of Tel Aviv. And it was like kind of a dream come true for me, because I really wanted to put some stuff on buses from a long time now. And now I have the opportunity.
Is that Israel?
That's a real image.
Is that Israel?
This is Tel Aviv, yes, Israel.
So the government doesn't stop that?
No, this is Rothschild Boulevard. I was living actually really close to it. At some point we were afraid they will stop us, but so we went, we connected with the advertising company that worked with the bus company, and we say, can we print anything? I mean, it's okay. And they say, as long as it's not offending religion, you can do whatever you like. So that image, that one didn't work. We wanted to print that one because it's a powerful image. But it didn't work because it offended the religious, because there's a kiss. And a kiss is like too much. You can talk about this with Iran, but no kisses. That's funny, right? I mean, a lot of images didn't work. We had a lot of nice ladies, and we have to Photoshop them so they don't show stuff you don't want to see. But at the end, we find our few faces, and we print them, and we post them on those buses. And for three weeks, 70 buses were traveling the streets of Tel Aviv with those images on them. It was really nice. It was really refreshing for me. It was just before the elections. So, the campaign that went after that were all about war and all about being ready and vote for the good people, because you're going to get, so you have to be ready. And a lot of people ask me, are you working for the government? Is it a post-war campaign? It's going to be a two-phase campaign, like the nice picture and then... And it was, no, it's just that. So what are you selling? Nothing? Just just those nice images. And it was really nice to see the reaction of the people in the streets. You know, they were like, yes, thank you. For once, you know, not selling nothing, not preaching the hate, but just showing nice faces. Imagine a campaign, an ad campaign that runs the streets of Dallas with faces of North Korean. Say, you guys from the States, we love you. We have no problem with you. Imagine that. It was like that. It was Iranians on the streets of Tel Aviv for the first time telling the Iranians, telling the Israelis, we love you guys. We have no problem with you.
What did the campaign cost you, the bus campaign, and how did you fund it?
We found it on Indiegogo.com. It's a crowdfunding page, so you can ask for millions. We received, it cost us 40,000 shekel, which is plus minus $50,000 US. That's what we wanted to go really big and to have the ads on billboards, but we didn't raise enough money, so we went just with those buses. It was a big campaign, but it was a small campaign, you know. But the main issue, it was about taking these pictures of these buses and putting them on Facebook, because for one Israeli that were looking at the picture on the street, we have thousands of people that were looking at the images on Facebook. And that's the power of social media. You can make one nice campaign on the streets and hundreds of people, maybe thousands of people gonna see it. But on Facebook, it's gonna be millions. And these campaigns, this bus campaign give us a lot of credit on Facebook. And I'll give you the number. We have now 111,000 friends on the Israeli Loves Iran page, maybe 50,000 on the Iran Love Israel, 10,000 on Palestine Love Israel, same with Israel Love Palestine, and on and on. It's like huge number of friends. But it's not just the friends, the people who friend the page. It's the unique reach. It's the people that come to the page every day. And when we had that campaign, the bus campaign, it was more than 2 million people a week coming to the page for a few weeks. So it was millions of people hitting the page every week just to see the pictures, to leave some comments, and to share it and to send it to their friends. This is the number of pages that people just open after we started to open our own page. We opened Israel Loves Iran and the page called The Peace Factory, which is kind of the umbrella for the whole project. On the Peace Factory you can find some logos and some stuff like that, and if you want to open a page called, I don't know, Dallas Love Israel, or I don't know, Dallas Love Tehran, you want to open that page and you want the logos and you want some help with the graphics, we will help you set up that. And all the other pages are some people who just open them. So you have Palestine of Israel, which is it's a nice page by Juju, but you have also, you can find Pakistan and Afghanistan, and Iran Love Israel and Palestine. You have Mexico of the world. And I mean, that goes on. But the important pages, they are the pages related to what's happening in the Middle East. You know, that page called Lebanon of Israel, just under the Peace Factory. I actually talked with, again, women. Women are really into peace. She's like 20-year-old woman from Lebanon, and she's living in the Dahia. I don't know if you guys know. It's like the really religious part of Beirut. It's where the Hezbollah lives. So she's living in the middle of the Hezbollah neighborhood, and she's having a page now called Lebanon Love Israel. What? Are you crazy? She's nice. These are some statistics for you, but they're kind of boring. These are some of the project we keep on making, because our belief is only by showing our faces as people we're going to make a difference. And we really have the opportunity of making a difference, because we're in that age that with social media we can really reach one another. I mean, years before a war was coming, you have no choice. You have to go to it. You don't know. You know only what the government tell you. But now you have internet. You have social media. You can check for yourself. And me, as an Israeli living in a democracy, it's kind of it's a duty to do something and not just, bitching about it. Yeah, I mean, do something. You have the tools to do something, to change something. And my belief is that small something that you can do is first show your face. Tell me who you are. Just show me your simple face and make that first step. I mean, say hello to the other side. Don't say what's wrong. Say what's nice. That's simple as that. And so these kinds of images, we're receiving tons of them all the time, and they're going really, really big. I can show you the last stuff that happened. I mean, those last week, you guys had this bombing in Boston. So I was sleeping, and my friend Sunny called me in the middle of the night, and he said, there was a bombing in Boston. So I said, you sure it's a bombing, it's terror, what is going on? He said, I don't know, I think go to look about it online. So I went and I started to see the first, and it was obvious that it was a terrorist attack. So we wanted to do something because, I mean, on those pages we're talking about the Middle East. But when something happens to somebody, the same goes. I mean, you want to acknowledge it. You just want to say, hey guys, we're with you, we understand you, you know what's happening. And again, with just those simple images, it went so big. This last few weeks we had millions of views on the page just because we just say something nice about what was happening in Boston. We find those images, somebody sent us to us, and we just repost them. We didn't take those images, and I'm not even sure that they're real, but that one image, that only image on my page has more than, I think it's 5,000 shares. I don't know how many likes, and from my page, it has been viewed more than 500,000 times. One image. Imagine the power of social media and of, people to people talking and trying to resolve problems. 500,000 people, one image, one day, few hours. So this is really powerful. This is the team. This is me and Sally and Maya. This is Michal from the back and Neri, my son. We are working now on putting up something called the Peace Factory and the Creative Lab. That's what we're really working on right now. The Creative Lab is going to be about having people from the Middle East coming to Tel Aviv, one Turkey, one Lebanese, one Palestinian, one Israeli, one Iraqi, one Iranian, one Jordanian, one Egyptian. I hope I didn't forget anybody. But one of each country working together at making this kind of project. The idea is to have people coming from the creative field, people who work in design, in coding, in filmmaking, those creative people that works most of the time in the advertising world. Having them coming for 1 month in Tel Aviv, we're going to pay for everything, the flight, the work, everything, and we're going to try to make this month, you know, going viral. So that's what we're working on. That's our project for the next few months. And that's it for now. If you have any question, guys, I'll be happy to.
When you talk to Iranians, do you get people from the right in Iran attacking you verbally? And if so, how do you handle them?
We had a lot of bad comments on the page, you can imagine. But sometimes I'm trying to talk because I'm a talker. So it's just kind of a sport for me. But I'm not sure I'm going to change any mind. I mean, some people you can see that they're coming to the page just to trash it. At the beginning, when the page just started and it went on the media, on CNN, and we started to get reported, so the graph of the page were going really high. And one day we had they started attacking the page. We had people coming from, I don't know where in the world, but it was like 9 to 5 day job. It was starting in the morning, and they were going to the page, and they were posting bad comments, but mostly bad images. Images of their children from wherever they could find it, and they were saying, you Zionists, we're going to kill you, you're from the CIA, you're from the Mossad, you're from whatever. And it was really disturbing because for the other people coming to the page, they were looking at the page and they were seeing hundreds of bad, really bad images. So we sat down and we said, what are we going to do about that? Because the easy thing to do was to close that option where people can post on the page and review every post. But that's going to take hours, and that's also going to close down the whole idea of talking. So I asked my friends to help me, and few of them who are working hours sitting in front of computer, I give them the login of the Facebook, and they just hour after hour come to our Facebook page, and they just delete the bad comments and the bad images without talking, just deleting. So it was like kind of a war. Some people at some part of the world were posting bad images, and we were deleting them, and it was like, who's gonna get tired first? And after a few weeks, they just stopped. It just stopped. One day it just stopped, and we were so relieved. So now it's like few a week, not some emails sometimes, but you know, that comes with the territory. The 99% of the people on the page are into the peace talking. So I'm not gonna let the one crazy, you know, ruin everything. So I try not to get into that too much.
Do you get any hassle from the Israelis on the right, or the government?
Yeah, same goes with the right in Israel. I mean, it's not just, Iranians or, you know, people from out there. It's also Israelis, especially at the beginning where they didn't understand what we were doing. And it was like, Dan, you know, like, oh, you coward. But at some point, I think people realize that it's not about, it's political, but it's not about politics. Obviously, I'm from the left, and I'm a big leftist, and I can talk about my political views for hours, but it wasn't about that. It was about talking with the people. So as long as we stay on that kind of, you know, level of communication, we're not being attacked too much, because we're not saying nothing about the government. I'm not saying nothing about Bibi Netanyahu and his government. I can understand it, I can argue about it, I have my views on the Israeli politics, obviously, but it's not the issue. The issue is, to me, is to avoid the war. And to avoid it, the way to go to me, it's not talking to my politician and go to Bibi Netanyahu and to the government and say, hey guys, we have to do this, because I'm not going to change his mind. To me, the way is to go to you and to say, maybe you and me, we sit and have a coffee and we talk about it, and we show him that we are talking and having a coffee. And maybe that's going to change his mind. That's, I don't know. That's my way of going.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
Have you got any politicians' attention, support?
I know
Come
that.
to you, says it's a good job, it's a good thing, you know.
No.
you-
No. It's, you know politicians better than me. I mean, those guys, they won't give you credit for nothing.
Obama.
Yeah, I mean,
And Congresswoman Johnson, I might add.
yeah.
No, I'm talking about in Israel.
But not in Israel, not in Israel. And I can explain you why not the left and why not the right. The right, obviously, because we are trying to undermine what they're doing. I mean, the right mind is, we have to be ready, the Iranians are coming, you know, that kind of security talk. And again, I can understand it. I'm a big Zionist, I'm all about Israel, I can talk about my country for hours, like you guys can talk about Iran from hours. And loving your country, it's okay with me. But those guys, they don't like it because we're making peace. And peace, it's a bad word when you're from the right. Left goes the same because we're doing something that they're supposed to do, but they're not doing it for their reason because, you know, it's complicated even from the left in Israel to actually getting involved in an actual peace process. Everybody's talking about peace, but nobody's doing nothing about it, and nobody wants to really get dirty about it because it's dangerous politically. So even the left, not acknowledging and say, those nice guys, you know, they're hippies. You know, that's how we're viewed in Israel. But I know that they know about it because I have met with some of them. And, you know, Israel, it's a small, small country. You know somebody that knows any person in Israel. So we know that they know, and obviously it's a well-known story in Israel. So they know about it, but they won't acknowledge it. It's like it's not happening.
I think it was the last year I saw a movie called The Other Son, and I thought it was a great movie. It was an Israeli movie.
I don't know that movie.
Oh, you haven't seen?
Sorry.
I thought, well, this is a movie about two families that Palestinian and Israeli. The kids been switched.
I heard about it. Yeah.
And then I was just thinking, is it something new that also the movie maker is giving attention, or it has to be for a while we didn't know about it, or is something new? Something new also, you know, like this movie was a great movie. I thought it was showing all the families are the same. It doesn't matter if you're Israeli or Palestinian. They all have a love to their children.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a great movie. But I was thinking, like, is something new happening in Israel also, or?
Again, I don't know exactly about that movie because I didn't see it, but we actually make few short movies on YouTube, and the idea is to make some more because it's a nice, yeah. I'm not into making some long movies because that's not what I'm doing. But
No, I'm just saying that is this mentality, is it something overall is new also in Israel about peace, we all the same, is mentality?
I think there's in all the region, in all the Middle East, I mean, despite what you hear on TV and on the news, I think in all the region, the young generation is all about peace. I mean, they're tired of war, and they don't care about it. They don't care about the reason even. They're like, let's get it over with. I mean, most of the people, I'm talking on the page with people from all over the Middle East. It's Egypt, it's Palestinians, it's Israelis, and people are like, you know, inshallah, we can get past that and you know, start, imagine, you know, a Middle East with no borders, like you have Europe with no borders. Why not? We can start visiting one another, you know, crowd surfing to Tehran and going to ski to Iran. That's what the new generation is all about.
Even the old generation.
Yeah, no, I mean, sometimes it's hard to change minds of, you know, the old generation. I don't know what we hold. I mean, my father is from a generation that seen so many wars. He was a soldier in the Six-Day Wars and in the Yom Kippur War. And he don't believe in it anymore. He don't believe that he can, in his lifetime, see peace in the Middle East. So he's like, stop talking about this. You're too young to understand. That's what he's saying to me all the time. I mean, forget about it. It's not going to happen.
I commend you for your courage, for the job you do on this, and especially that image of the bus in the street of Tel Aviv. Normally what we see with the buses in Tel Aviv is burned down, it's bombed, right? And but having seen Iran on that bus, which signifies terrorism, is really an awesome picture. I really commend you for it.
It was important, really, to have those images on buses. It was important to show the people that something good can come out of a bus image, because that's really an icon of the bad stuff happening in Israel. Bomb buses, you know those images.
He did allude to somehow in what they're planning to do in the future, but really, I mean, what they're doing right now is infancy. I mean, the plan that they have, the thing that they're going to do, is going to be huge. I mean, we just have to, it's just something, it's just like I see it coming through. He just alluded with a little bit about the project that they have, but it's actually, they are really working behind it, and hopefully it's going to be materialized within 2 months.
Well, this can grow into something much bigger.
Sky's the limit.
Exactly.
What is the level of your relationship with mainstream media at this point, and what are your plans to reach out more to them or have them more interested, because they have their own agenda? And
Yeah, so I realized at some point that the old mainstream media, they're, you know, along the months, the year, I've met with a lot of media, a lot of people, a lot of interest. Some people want, a lot of people coming from the media world say, hey, I'm going to be your agent. We're going to have those media stuff. And to me, it's not working like that. I mean, my main platform is Facebook, and it's YouTube, and it's the internet. And this is where I can reach 500,000 people in one picture. So the media, they're coming when they want to come. You know, it was talking about calling them and having, and they won't come if they don't want to come. So when it's important for them to report something, they're coming. They know how to find us, and so that's how we're working with them. I have a lot of nice friends, people from the media talking to me all the time. But I'm not calling them. They're calling us and they say, hey, can we come and report about your new campaign? We're not advertising for the media. We're advertising for the people. And if the media finds that, you know, something that they want to report about, they're welcome to be part of it.
I just want to know, because it still remains the fear of the war, and we know that we don't have any freedom in Iran. And do you concentrate the people inside Iran more than all over the world? So because I think the most concentration is in Iran.
Yeah.
So you find individual in Europe or USA, but I just want to know what is the
We can track.
in Iran or
We can track on the page because what's nice with Facebook, they give you a lot of statistic tools to analyze where people are coming from, what's the genders. stuff like that. So we can analyze and say that a third of the people coming to the page are coming from Iran. And some of them are, you can see Tehran, you can see the names, and some of them are using proxy servers from Germany and from the States, but they're sitting in Iran. A third of the people looking at the page and sharing and liking are from the world, and a third are from Israel and the Jewish community. It's like a big, I mean, you know, but it's a third, and a third on that page. That depends on the pages. I mean, the page called Palestine of Israel, you have way more Palestinian and Israeli engaging on that page. But there are actual Palestinians from Palestine and Israeli from Israel, and the rest are from the rest of the world.
I'm just, you know, I mean, the last image, some last image that you show us, it was from some women from Kabul, I think, Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And do you like to have some kind of this image from inside of Iran and people of Iran? Because we have some image that are outside of Iran.
Yeah, we have a lot of images coming from Iran. There is a nice page called Human from Tehran. Yeah, it's really nice, and they're posting a lot of pictures, and we're talking to them. Sometimes we ask them for images because it's so rare to have some images actually coming from inside Iran. But we have, I mean, some of them, a lot of them are from Iran. I mean, people just, and they're way more powerful when it's coming from inside. Especially from us, you know, living in Israel, we know nothing about Iran, and now we have people sending her their picture. You can see the streets, you can see the houses, you can see the villages, and it's, you know, that gives you a new image to have in your mind when you're thinking about Iran, and not just, you know, the one you see online, you see on the media. So look at this one. We make an old. This one is from that page called Human of Tehran, and it's really powerful to me because it's just young people having fun, and it's like it's supposed to be my enemy. So we make those kinds of, you know, this is the enemy, beware, they're coming.
But they say you don't have nobody to take a picture there or just be active.
No, we try not to go into. No, that would be nice, by the way, if we had a photographer in Iran. But it's complicated, and so we end up asking some people living in Iran, send us a picture of you, but we're not going actively to take some picture from the internet to post them online. We're only trying to use images that has been sent to us by people. So this is not people, this is a huge site, this is a nice site. But this is somebody from Iran taking a picture and sending to us and say, hey guys, you can use that image.
You said some of these people engage you in some sort of conversation. And what type of conversation do they engage you? The ones that are against you? You know, I'm sure you still get those write-ups and stuff like that on your Facebook page. But
That depends, you know, that can be so many stuff. Sometimes it's, you know, I'm a big fan of NBA, so sometimes it's just about sport and about, you know, the finals and some games. Sometimes it's about it, but it's never about peace, you know, like, yeah, we're having peace, because it's obvious, we're talking now, so we're just talking about, sometimes it's just, hey, nice talking to you and nice meeting you. I'm also a graphic designer, so stuff like that.
The ones who actually don't like what you do, or they're against what you do,
Yeah.
or they're trying to, you know, throw a wrench in this, and you know, how would they? Well, what kind of a conversation do they start with? Like, you know,
That will start.
what is this, or what
Yeah,
is
that will start most of the time with like, you pig Zionist, we're gonna come and kill you. And sometimes I try to respond like, hey guy, what's up today? You still hungry? I mean, I'm trying to be nice.
Do they come down from
No,
Do you
never.
try to engage in conversation?
So sometimes it's going on and on for a few minutes, and at the end I'm just deleting all of it, because it's. But sometimes, I mean, one thing, you know, sometimes somebody's really asking a question. I mean, it's like, yeah, but you guys, what you're doing with the Palestinian, it's really like the Holocaust. So sometimes, I mean, it's hard for me to hear that, and obviously it's not right, but sometimes I will take the time to answer him really. First, I will send him a link from Wikipedia to the actual page of what's the word Holocaust mean to me. And then, if he reads everything and he's coming back and he's talking, we can have a conversation. And sometimes I'm even sharing the conversation on the page so everybody can take part of it, because it's becoming interesting. Because he was asking a really hard question, but he was out of not knowing, you know, and now he's trying to get something else. So sometimes it's nice to have other Israeli and other people, Iranian, whatever, coming and join the conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, I just wanted to let you guys know that officially the program is over, but you're more than welcome to stay and engage conversation, Q&A with them. But I just want to let you know for the other people who come and want to leave based on the schedule, it's all up to you. So whoever wants to stay, more than welcome to stay. And thanks everybody for being here.